Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on a lovely sunny Monday, 2 weeks before the end of the transfer window closes and 2 days after Arsenal made it 2 wins out of 2 to kick off the new Premier League season. 6 points from 6, not a bad start, although less said about the performance, probably the better against West Ham, but as I covered in my video after the match from the press box at the Emirates, a win is a win and you're not going to turn your nose up at that ahead of a trip to Liverpool on Monday. Liverpool pretty impressive though yesterday as they beat Chelsea, so I think it's going to be a very difficult game for Arsenal up at Anfield on Monday night. Before that, obviously they go to Leicester in the Carabao Cup third round on Wednesday night. I'll be there to watch pretty much what I'm expecting to be Leicester reserves versus Arsenal reserves. Certainly going to be lots and lots of changes for that one, given the demands of the fixture list at the moment, how quickly the games are coming, how much plenty of players need to get some minutes. So I'm expecting Mikel Arteta and Brendan Rodgers, to be fair, to make lots of changes. So I don't think it's going to be a game where we're going to see a lot of the big stars in action. But anyway, I'll just run through the end of the week once I get to the end of this video. So I'm just joining you now to discuss basically the latest Arsenal transfer news. As always, we've got a couple of weeks left of the window now, trying to keep you updated as possible as far as I'm aware how things are panning out. So the main news today is that we are expecting an Arsenal sign-in today. The goalkeeper, Runar Alex Runarsson, should be all wrapped up and confirmed and announced at some point on Monday afternoon. Runarsson arrived in England on Friday, went straight from the airport to Arsenal's training ground. He met his new teammates. He was putting the finishing touches on his move. He trained over the weekend away from the rest of the squad. But and the Arsenal lawyers are just putting the finishing touches to his paperwork today. And as long as all things go well and there's no very, very, very last minute hitches, then he will be confirmed as an Arsenal player on Monday, the very latest Tuesday. But we are expecting it to be at some point on Monday afternoon that announcement comes. So Arsenal will be getting a new goalkeeper following the exit of Emi Martinez last weekend. Now, Runarsson isn't going to cost much money. Obviously, they got 20 million for Martinez. They're only going to be spending, what I'm told, just over £1 million to bring Runarsson in from Dijon. He's 25 years old, Icelandic goalkeeper, very well known to Arsenal goalkeeping coach Naki Kana, who arrived from Brentford last year, this year in fact, and he Icelandic international, only played about 5 appearances I think for the Icelandic senior team. Not exactly, I mean he's not even a first choice regular in Dijon anymore, so he's not coming in really to put any pressure on Bernd Leno anytime soon. You would expect he's very much cover, and Arsenal could still look to bring in another goalkeeper before the transfer window closes. Obviously we all know about the interest in David Raya at Brentford. Raya keen on a move to Arsenal. Arsenal haven't been able to get Brentford to do any business yet on him. They're very keen not to sell, understandably so, considering they've already lost Ollie Watkins. But it'll be interesting to see what happens between now and the end of the transfer window, because Matt Macey, who's currently Arsenal's third choice keeper, does want to move and go and play first team football and become first choice somewhere else. So if he goes, then they're going to need to bring someone in. It could be that Raya could come in if they can agree a deal with Brentford, and then Runarsson would be the third choice goalkeeper. So we'll have to keep an eye on how all that unfolds. There's so much still to happen in this transfer window. It's going to be a mad last couple of weeks. But that is one deal that will be happening today, should be happening today, is Runar Alex Runarsson should be joining Arsenal by the end of play. Just go over a few other things before the end of this video today. Obviously a lot of talk about Lucas Torreira at the moment. I'm sure you've probably seen it or heard it, or your mates have told you about it. Being heavily linked with Atletico Madrid now. Whereas before he was being linked heavily with a move to Italy with Torino, very, very interested. Fiorentina as well, AC Milan linked, but now Atletico Madrid. Now this is coming from sources over in Uruguay. Media outlets over there, a Uruguayan radio station which is very close to Torreira. He's given him a few exclusive interviews before, so you'd expect they're certainly going to be quite have strong contacts with Torreira, and his camp are reporting that Atletico Madrid are very interested in Lucas Torreira. Now, from what I understand with Lucas Torreira and people that I've spoken to today, Arsenal very much expect that he could be someone who leaves before the end of the transfer window. Now, that's not exactly a secret. He's not playing. He hasn't been in either of the squads at the moment in the Premier League. Understandably so. When Arsenal are looking to get him out, they want to get players out the door. They need to get players out the door, and Torreira is certainly one of them that they are willing to let go. Now, they ideally would want a permanent move. Atletico Madrid, by all accounts, are only asking for a loan with an option to buy it included. That doesn't really suit Arsenal. But then you think about it, who comes into the equation? Tomas Partey, the player that Arsenal really wanted to spend the whole summer looking at and not being able to get a deal done for. Now, could Atletico be interested in some sort of swap deal? Everyone has always told me that Atletico are not going to be up for a swap deal. Arsenal have to pay the release clause. That's a strong bargaining position. Whether that changes as we get close to the end of the window, Atletico do need money. If Arsenal could offer them something like Torreira and 25 million for Partey, would that be acceptable? It's all hypothetical at the moment because that decision rests with Atletico Madrid. Now, from what I understand, Tomas Partey is still, he's open to a move. The ball is in Arsenal's court. He's waiting to see how things pan out over the last couple of weeks, in the next couple of weeks of the window. Should an Arsenal offer arrive for Tomas Partey, the likelihood is, which is accepted, the likelihood is Tomas Partey will join Arsenal. I reported that a while ago, and from what I understand, speaking to people that I know who are close to the situation, that very much remains the same. He is keeping an open mind and waiting to see what Arsenal do. Can they tempt Atletico into doing business? If they can't hit the release clause, can they somehow get Atletico to soften their stance? Now, Lucas Torreira could come into that. We'll have to wait and see, but he is certainly a player that Arsenal are looking to move on. Another one is Sokratis. Now, this at the moment, as I've mentioned, he's happy in London, isn't desperately banging down the door to get out. He's just had a new child, and is happy in London. But Napoli are interested in him. It's a move that he would be open to from all accounts, but it rests on Napoli at the moment. It rests on Napoli moving on Koulibaly, who looked like he was going to Manchester City. Now that doesn't look like that's happening, and that has kind of left the Socrates situation hit a standstill, basically. He is one of the players Arsenal want to go out, same as Mustafi, who's now being linked with Lazio by the Italian press. Now, this next 2 weeks for Arsenal is all going to be about trying to get people out, because if they can, then it's going to help them try and get a couple of, or at least one deal over the line for one of their main targets before the end of the transfer window. But they need to sell. Arteta spoke about it again after the game on Saturday night, and it is just a really key period for Arsenal. Now, these next 2 weeks, you've got Torreira, Guendouzi, Mustafi, Socrates, all these sort of players who Arsenal could get some funds for, want to get some funds for. Can they get them out the door? It's going to be a really incredibly busy couple of weeks at Arsenal. So much uncertainty going around. I mean, it's not ideal for Mikel Arteta. We'd love to know exactly what squad he's going to have, but he's not. He's every single manager in the same position as Mikel Arteta. So we're going to have to wait and see. But in terms of one thing that is going to happen today, like I said, is Runarsson. That deal should be finalised. As I said, Arsenal versus Leicester on Wednesday night. No press conference ahead of that one, I think, which pretty much sums up the feeling towards that game. I will be there, as I said, and I'll be doing the usual reporting from it. That'll be the next chance we get the opportunity to actually talk to Mikel Arteta, because he's not doing a pre-match press conference. So any sort of questions about transfers or updates from him are going to have to wait until Wednesday night. And then obviously we'll have the press conference on Friday ahead of the game against Liverpool on Monday. So that's all from this one. Pretty short update for me. Like I said, anything more happen, any developments on any more stories, I will come back to try and keep you as updated as I possibly can. Please do head over to goal.com for all my latest Arsenal stories. Or you can find them on my Twitter, which is at Charles_Watson, on Facebook as well. And if it's the first time watching the channel, please do hit the subscribe button. I appreciate all your support as always, and I'll try and keep you as updated as I possibly can. Until next time, stay safe everyone. Speak to you soon.